Good morning. You're welcome again to Searching the Heart. I'm the Chinke again for you. Continuing with the episode on Donald Trump and Elon Musk in prophecy. Okay. Now, prophecy, like I continue to say, prophecy is a very delicate thing, and of course, I believe that I have already fulfilled my part in all that I was called to do in terms of these events, and I'm still fulfilling it. I don't believe that what I have done in the past 10 years in terms of preaching and teaching is cut off from these words that are recorded in this journal. Okay, in fact, I was so shocked to see how they have come, to fulfillment in every detail. Okay, so this is just the point I'm trying to make, and I discovered that just by doing my own part, I was fulfilling my part honestly and to the best of my ability. I was fulfilling the part that God had given me. Okay, and it's so shocking to see how these events have taken place in detail. Now today I'm going to be looking at one of the issues here concerned, and this was recorded on the 19th of June 2004. Okay, around 5 a.m. This one, some of the past dreams were dated later on out of memory, but the second journal, because of the efficacy of the fulfillment, I was recording these as they happened. Okay, immediately I woke up, I picked up my book and I started recording them. Okay, and so this one is of much importance to me, and I'm going to read a little from it. Okay, so bear with me as I read. Then I was moved again into another realm where I was given another personality that was me but did not look like me. I was given a responsibility to act as an informant or an observer in an army of a certain man who was supposed to be a great leader. I was not alone here. I was with others. One was, of course, I'm going to hide the name here because I put his real name, a final year student, and the other was Daniel. Okay, I mentioned that name. You don't know him anyway. So we were all given roles to play in this man's army. I was not sure whether he knew about the arrangement or not, because we did not look like we normally do. It was made clear to me that as I read out, I was moved to another realm. Okay, I was not in the normal realm. I was moved to the another realm. Where that realm was, I really do not really understand. I really know for sure. Okay, so my facial looks were changed. That was clearly shown to me. So the man did not know about. I wasn't sure whether the man knew about the arrangement or not. Okay. So he had a group of 7 to 10 bodyguards who were his elite. They seemed not to be human. Okay, this was another thing. 7 to 10 bodyguards, elite bodyguards that were not human, but between a mix between spirit and machine. Okay, thus was a strange place to me. Sorry, this was a strange place to me. But we freely crossed from real life to that place. Okay, we were crossing from. So if you look at this, it seems it was talking about the spirit realm, but I'm still not sure. Okay, let's continue. One of those trips, on one of those trips, I was taught by someone about the life of a particular brother, which I knew the brother very well. Okay, I was shown his life as a footballer. Now this particular person is of interest. Okay, as a football match, which he featured as a player, of course. I was told he was given his talent for a reason. And this talent that he was given was academic excellence in the real world. Okay? In the process of the match, which was behind our old house in Jos, of course, there was a little football field we created behind our old house when I was growing up. And it seems, even at my age then, that was the place where the match was taking place. An international match of sorts. Okay, he now kicked the ball into the bush. There's a bush behind the house, and as we were playing, he kicked the ball into the bush. Okay, it seemed he had no choice but to do that, but someone gave it back to him. It seemed the ball was lost, but someone gave it back to him. Okay, and along with it gave him a dried up piece of stick. A piece of stick cut, a branch, if you like, cut from a tree. Okay, but it was dried up. If you go to your backyard, you might see lots of those. Okay, and that piece of stick looked like a flute. Okay, it looked to me that the ball was deflated. When he was giving back the ball was deflated, but he was giving that piece of stick, dried up piece of stick, and the deflated ball. Okay, so then I was back in the other realm, and I was to serve this powerful man, but on my way I met a lady wearing a black suit. She was walking in the same direction. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because this is of a very personal note to me. Okay, so I have just read a part of this vision, and I'm going to use these few minutes to just explain this brief part of this vision to you. Stay tuned. So I just tried to explain a little part to read out a little part of my journal, which dates to about 2004, okay, to you. And strangely enough, I had so many interpretations to that. Of course, it's a simple principle. The idea of me being taken to another realm, the whole dream was about being taken to another realm, brought back to earth, taken to another realm, brought back to earth. And in that realm, I was serving as something, a very important person. And in this realm, I was just me, okay? And, explaining that was the intriguing part for me. But this part of the teaching about the young man that was given his talent for a reason was kind of new to me, but wasn't really special. I thought, well, it makes sense. Okay, yeah, people are giving talents for specific reasons, especially if in terms of destiny. Okay, and I remember the face of this very person. I can still remember the person, apart from the people I called. And he was a gentle guy, but he was known to be very intelligent. And some people said he was heading to becoming a first-class student. So, of course, or at least a second-class upper. So, of course, this was a natural face to use to speak to me. Okay, so I was told he was given his intelligence for a reason, and he was supposed to serve this in this world. But again, the use of a football field was also very interesting. An intelligent person Of course, that time the guy was studying engineering, I think, yes, and he was playing football. And in the process of playing football, he hit the ball outside into the bush. Getting the ball was difficult, okay? It looked like that. But later on, somebody brought the ball back, deflated. But instead of him playing the ball, he was giving a replacement for the ball, which was a flute, okay? And the flute was actually not a flute, but a dry up stick. Now this raised a lot of questions in my mind, okay? Why was the dried up stick, turned into a flute in the dream? Okay, that was the question. And for me, it reminded me of a story that we used to read when we were little kids. Of course, concurrent with the fact that we were playing the football in the small pitch where we used to play football when I was a little kid. Okay, so we used to read that story when I was a little kid, and that story was about some brothers who lived together, and I can't remember the details, but some of them were accused of killing one of the other ones, okay? And while somebody was in his farming, he found a dried up bone. And when the dried up bone looked like a flute. And so when he started playing the flute started talking. As he was playing the flute was talking. And the flute was explaining the person that had killed him. Okay? It was the voice of the person that was killed started singing through the flute and was pointing to the person that had killed him. Okay? So that was the story when I was a little child from a storybook. Okay? But also, that story kind of is a contemporary African story, but I think written by Chinua Achebe, I'm not sure, okay? But it's a story that is similar to the story of Cain and Abel, okay? So that was, I believe that was why that story was used. The turning the dried up stick into a flute. Now, I never understood what it was all about. I tell you the truth. For most of my ministry, I thought this was a flimsy dream. I thought it wasn't an important part of it until what happened last 3 months. For about 5 years now, of course, I told you I've been studying I've always been a space enthusiast, okay? But for about 5, 6, 7 years now, I have really gotten into research, into space, into NASA, into so many things, and that is how I came in contact with the person Elon Musk. And of course, through studying the work of NASA and all these things, and then going back to the Bible, studying the Bible, I have made a lot of teachings. I have taught a lot about the revelations in Revelations 21, Isaiah chapter 11, Isaiah chapter 9, Isaiah 53, all those scriptures. I have talked a lot about that. Talking about the possibility of the kingdom of heaven on earth, probably God extending, when he returns, possibly, as the Bible says, he might indeed recommend that human beings continue with their work of exploration, or use that in the process of doing that and achieving something phenomenal. He might work with that. It's just a feeling, okay? I'm not saying that is what the Bible is saying, but as I came and I read this again, I said, wow, exactly. Okay, just 2 months back, when Elon Musk was arguing with Donald Trump, the rockets, Elon Musk's rockets started exploding just before they started arguing. Immediately after Donald Trump won the election, SpaceX rockets have been exploding, but after a string of successes, there was just a repeat of explosions and explosions and explosions and explosions and explosions. And I was like, wow, what is this guy doing? Okay, I was like, he's gone into politics and he's forgotten what he's supposed to do. And he's kind of gotten his eye off the ball. And as I was reading this, wow, it said the guy who was given his talent for a reason, which was academic excellence, kicked the ball out into the bush, and the ball returned deflated. So I thought, wow, is this a symbol? Is this a signal that this is the guy that I was being told? Now remember, the dream is totally different from my convictions of the last 5 years. I've been talking about Elon Musk without referring to this dream, but now it looks as if I was told this about how many years ago? Close to 20 years ago. Okay, 20 years ago, I was told this very thing, 21 years ago. So the guy kicked the ball and the ball was deflated. Now, he was given a stick, a dried up stick. Remember, I told you last time, or the last episode, that Elon and his type, not just Elon, okay, and the dream was very clear. Guys like him, people of intelligence, okay? He was just an example of a greater community. Last week or last 2 weeks, NASA announced the discovery of organic material on the planet Mars. And I remember, while looking at it, the picture of this organic material, it looked like a dried up algae, algae that has dried up for a long time, or a dried up piece of wood that has been in water for a long time, and then the water dried out. So that is what it looks like. That rock, that fossilized rock that NASA discovered, studied for a while, and got to establish was organic material. Okay, so could this be the fulfillment of this dream? Okay, the dried up stick. Why was it not a wet one? A stick. Why was it not wet? Think about that. Okay. Why was it not a wet one? A one with leaves or something. Okay. Why was it dried up? Why was the ball deflated? All these questions kept on rushing into my mind, and from the symbols, and given that this was 23 years ago, 21 years ago, I believe that this was clearly talking about what just happened 2 months ago, or about a month and a half or so, between Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and NASA. Okay, there's been a struggle to defund NASA. NASA is quickly trying to go into the cupboard to remove all the material they have presented. Elon Musk is struggling to see how he can still keep SpaceX afloat while not depending on the government. And you see how the ball could be deflated, in a way. Another explanation is that Mars is deflated, okay? But replacing the ball with a dried up stick is going to mean something. It's going to be a fruit. The dried up stick is going to turn into a fruit, and it's going to tell a story. Okay, it's going to tell a story. I am David Dunji Chinke for you today in Searching the Heart.
Discover a transformative journey into the kingdom of heaven. Following the initial publication, the author dives deeper with 2 insightful follow-up books. Ever felt disconnected from God even in worship? Explore how God's unconventional ways can transform your life. How can you align with divine plans, avoiding distractions? Find answers in The Kingdom of Heaven on Earth, and The 3, Illuminating Christian Truths and Prophetic Practices. Unlock profound insights guiding you toward a deeper connection with God. Don't miss out. Dive into this enlightening exploration today. Click the link on the caption to get your copy.